We're going to look at the geography of Japan. We're going to learn how to say the islands, the names of the islands, and the names of some of the major cities. To start with, we must remember Japan is in the northern hemisphere. Therefore, its winter is in December, and its summer is in June-July. Japan is actually made up of 4 main islands, but then thousands of small ones to the north, to the south, and around the major islands. Let's start by looking at the names of the major islands of Japan. Starting from the northmost island, which has a name that literally means North Sea Road, and that is Hokkaido. Hokkaido. The characters are North Sea Road. Hokkaido, the northmost island of Japan. The main island, or the largest island, which has most of the Japanese population living on it, is Honshu. Honshu literally means the original state. Honshu. The island to the south of Honshu, Shikoku, the smallest of the 4 major islands, Shikoku, which would literally mean 4th country. And then the furthest south of the major islands is Kyushu, which literally means the 9th state. Kyushu. Way down south we have Okinawa, which takes us close to the equator, and of course is more tropical. Okinawa. A long history, including the origins of karate, etc. As far as the major cities of Japan is concerned, we'll start from the northmost island and just work through some of those cities that we hear about most when we hear about things happening in Japan. Right up the very north we have Kitami, Kushiro, and of course the major city of Hokkaido is Sapporo. Sapporo, where they have the beautiful snow festivals and ice carvings. On the main island, Honshu, we have Akita, Akita, Sendai, Sendai, Tokyo, being the present-day capital of Japan, Tokyo, literally meaning eastern capital. Yokohama, Yokohama, a famous port near Tokyo. Yokohama. Nagoya, a major business centre, Nagoya, sister city to Sydney. Osaka is the 2nd largest city in Japan, huge business and commercial area, large port and an airport called Kansai. Kyoto, ancient capital, beautiful place to visit if you want to travel to Japan to see the ancient buildings. Hiroshima, famous of course for the bomb in the 2nd World War. Hiroshima, modern, rebuilt, and an interesting place to visit. Fukuoka. Fukuoka is on the southmost of the 4 largest islands, Kyushu. Fukuoka. Also on that island we have Nagasaki. Nagasaki. We also have Kagoshima. Kagoshima is right down the south of Japan, and from parts of Kagoshima you can see Sakurajima, which is a volcano which is erupting all the time. Sakurajima. Sakurajima, it's on its own island, separate from Kagoshima, but you can see it from there. Just south of Yokohama, or west of Yokohama, you have Mount Fuji, the highest mountain in Japan. Mount Fuji, we call it Fujisan. Sun meaning mountain, and it gives a form of respect to call it Fujisan. It is actually a volcano, but it hasn't erupted for many, many years, and therefore is called a dormant volcano. Fujisan. Japan is in the northern hemisphere. Very important to remember that if we're thinking of its location and its weather patterns. It's about a 9-hour flight from Sydney to Tokyo, 4 main islands and thousands of surrounding smaller ones. Some of the islands around Japan are so small you could walk across them in just an hour or two. In the north, some of those smaller islands are simply ice, and they would not be habitable. The present-day capital city of Japan is Tokyo. In the past, the capital city changed. Tokyo became the capital city, and Tokyo literally means eastern capital. Kyoto was the previous capital. Population in 2014 is now 125.5 million people. That did peak at 129 million a couple of years ago, and it is now decreasing, as per the aging population and the smaller number of babies being born. Japan, of course, has a lot of volcanoes, like Sakurajima, some are active. It also experiences a lot of earthquakes due to the fact that its placement over the plates, the shifting plates of the earth. Often in Japan you'll hear about earthquakes. In 1995, the large earthquake in Kobe, and of course in 2011, the large earthquake followed by the tsunami in Fukushima. And of course, tsunami comes from the Japanese language and literally means enormous wave, huge wave, tsunami.